What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is February the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. But I want to give you a pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and everything else. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off, there isn't really any data points coming out today that's going to disrupt the broader market. And as I kind of alluded to in my video yesterday with SOFI, or regarding SOFI, I said that there was going to be a rebound, that a lot of analysts are forecasting that sell-off that happened yesterday was premature, was already technically planned by the Feds of having higher CPI data. So in reality, this is what is happening today because you see the futures very nice and green. In addition to that though, you do see good old Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is having a nice rally, so at 4.46%, and that does insinuate people's appetite for risk is going up. Similarly, looking at the fear and greed index, it's starting to stabilize around 71. It did pull back from 78, so still shows that the broader market wants to propel a lot of stocks higher. So overall, that is kind of a good thing. But moving on, starting off with some stocks, looking at SOFI, it is up 2% pre-market. There isn't any news today. Obviously, yesterday did have some pretty epic news in relation to the whole NBA scenario. So I think that should be fairly good, bigger picture. Right now, though, shorts are hesitant because they are increasing about 2,000 shares. It was, as you kind of saw pre-market, around 37,000 shares. So they're all over the place right now. 16.47% of the free float is being shorted and 150.23 million shares overall are being shorted. But one point to watch for, as I've said, I don't mean to be like a broken recorder or record tape or whatever that phrase is, but 828, just watch for that. That is going to be a key pivot point for SOFI. If SOFI is able to get above that, then yes, it could easily get into the 9s, 10s, and whatever else, especially that's where I realistically think it should be. But you just want to watch for it to kind of break above that. And tomorrow's retail sales and then PPI on Friday. So two other big data points coming out. Moving on though, Marathon. So ticker is MARA. In case you don't know what they do, this is it right here. So you can always pause it, read through it, and whatever else you need to know. It is up 13.06%, and that is because of good old Bitcoin. So definitely miners are going to be a hot stock to trade today. And also on a side note, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information all in one, such as press releases, SEC filings, transcripts, everything that you need to know about a stock, take a look at Seeking Alpha Premium. I do have a 7-day free trial for you, so take advantage of that. Link is in the description below and also the comments. But if you're looking at trading Marathon with it right now at 29.05, it is trading between this R1 and this R2. So 29.51 is going to be a strong resistance point that it might bounce off of today, depending on the FOMO, what happens today and whatever else. But 26.07 is going to be that next strong support. I don't anticipate that being touched whatsoever today unless something completely dramatic out of left field comes and really scares and spooks the broader market. But I do feel that this 29.51 is going to be touched. And shorts aren't doing all that much, so I'll give you a quick overview of that. So right now, pre-market shorts are increasing about 271,000 shares. So they're doubtful about today's, validity of the rally so far. 21.2% of the free float is being shorted. 46.73 million shares overall are being shorted. And cost of borrow average is 0.97%. A lot of the stocks I'm talking on aren't squeeze plays. I'm just bringing this up more as a benchmark. Moving on, there is LYFT. So this one's kind of comical. It did actually legitimately have good earnings. It is up 20.69%. This is what they are all about. So you can always just pause it, read through it, whatever else. But interestingly enough, when it comes down to them, their CFO messed up. And so they said that they're, going to be growing by 50 basis points, or they said 500 basis points, not 50. So that is definitely quite comical, because even looking at what happened there pre-market, they shot up about like 60%. So that is relatively comical. So let me know your thoughts on that. As far as shorts, they are returning about 57,000 shares. 13.14% of the free float is being shorted. 45.82 million shares overall are being shorted. And if you are looking at trading this with it at 1464, it is right below this R2, very similar to Marathon. So just watch 1416 to hold and 1476 to break out. I do feel based on their earnings, of course I don't have necessarily the time to go through everything pre-market in these videos, but I do really like LYFT's earnings, and they definitely did show a lot of good growth and continued growth. So that might be just cause for it to trend higher. Just obviously in these videos I do talk on short-term movements and whatever else. This stock has been absolutely very interesting. Ticker is BMR Imaging. I did do a video 2 days ago. I added this one to my pre-market video yesterday. It is up 16.07% based on no news, still just a lot of FOMO kicking in and hype. Because based on what's been coming out, yeah, they had a pretty good deal with Nvidia, but the fact that they are doing a public offering the day after, that does not jive well with me. But that's just my own opinion, of course. This stock definitely is being starting to be more heavily shorted. When I did first cover it, the short interest was roughly around 6%. Now it is at 9.25. Shorts just do not believe the validity of this kind of jump up in the stock price. And I do believe it had a high of around $35, give or take, around here a couple days back. So $34.94. So shorts do not believe that. Even though this does have a low float, they are trying to take any and all available shares. 87.88 thousand shares are being increased. 318.42 thousand shares overall are being shorted. And cost of borrow average is 389.8%. So like I said, shorts will try to be bringing this down because I do feel realistically this should be at $6, as I've openly stated. If you are looking at trading this though, with it at 16.29, it is between this S1 and the pivot. As you can kind of tell though, fib levels are very wide, so just anticipate a hell of a lot of volatility with this stock. And it did actually reach this R2, as you can kind of point out. The 34.83 is that very strong resistance. It briefly broke above that, but not really justified. So this is what caused it to pull down. So overall today, just watch for that $16.98 resistance to either be broken, and if so, then it could have another pop to around 28, and just in case you are trading it. And finally, last stock I want to talk on is good old Robinhood, another stock that had very good earnings and plus gave very good future guidance. So this earnings season all comes down to future guidance. That is it. And Robinhood definitely did do that. And plus they showed, despite higher inflation and interest rates, like you can make a ton of money. So definitely that's hats off to any investor that is in Robinhood. Currently at 14.86%. This is what they are all about. So you can always pause it, read through it, whatever else. Shorts aren't really doing all that much, and plus Robinhood's not really heavily shorted. So 5.56% of the free float's being shorted. 31.1 million shares overall are being shorted, and shorts are only returning about 938 shares. So not all that much, but with it at $13.63 pre-market, it is trading between this point right here. So it's actually sitting exactly on this R3. So if it does break above that, then you are going to see a very nice pop up and a continuation of that. But I do feel based on their earnings, they actually might retrace back to closer to the 1275. But I do feel based on their earnings, even though it was fairly good, it's not really justified to break above this R3, at least in the short term. That's just, again, my own interpretation. So let me know your thoughts. What other stocks are you kind of watching today? And of the stocks that I did mention, was there anything that caught your interest and potentially why? So let me know your thoughts. One final thing, take advantage of this promo as I have always been sharing with you. Simply sign up for an account with MULN MULN through $100 at it and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.